Welcome back, everybody. I'm Brad.
I'm Steve.
So today we have the championship of the New England IPA side in our 2018. Why do I keep saying 2018?
You're stuck in the past, man.
Beer bracket. So Hoof Hearted versus Old Nation.
You just need to get in your DeLorean and go back to 2018
Yeah,
and relive the glory years.
Might as well.
So Brad is pouring the Boss Tweed right now, and I hope you watch the not blindfold, but at least blind taste test of that one. Really opened my eyes with when I was telling Brad off camera. Like, I used to pass this beer up because of the price and the alcohol content, and I was satisfied with M43, but yet I didn't realize the flavor potential that might be there. So very, very interesting beer. And then the other beer that we like as well is this Hoof Hearted Everyone Wants Some, and that clocks in at 8%. So you got the higher alcohol content of the two in this bracket, which, not to say that leans us one way or another, but sometimes it seems to go hand in hand with stronger flavors.
Right, yep. So, they're in front of us. We didn't do a blind on this one because we thought the colors were going to be off, and they are.
Tell. Yeah.
And so when we poured each one, we would know. So when the next person turned around, they would have a clear advantage. So,
and quite honestly, we can't afford a blindfold. So if you want to donate, buy shirts or something.
Yeah, so we can buy blindfolds.
The Boss Tweed is a lot darker.
It's more darker orange juice.
Yeah, it's like that pulp, non-pulp orange juice thing again.
See, the hard part is, I don't know if the Hoof Hearted is considered a double IPA.
New England IPA?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because it almost looks like we have a double New England IPA versus a New England IPA. Now, 8% is pushing it for me in a IPA or a double IPA anyway. I would almost... Man, it's hard. I would probably give the credit to the Hoof Hearted for the color in this, because it's more spring, summer, New England style IPA than the Old Nation is. I think the Old Nation is almost an older, sat on the shelf color.
Yeah.
Than
oxidized / something. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Smells.
I prefer the Boss Tweed in that, only because it's to bigger. Me, the Boss Tweed is bigger. It reminds me of when I'm brewing and I actually open that hop pellet bag and I smell it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good.
And the kids are like, yo, that's nasty.
Yeah, right? Like, what's that smell?
Yeah, no. I think the flavor in the Boss Tweed is bigger and better, comes out more, is more pronounced than the Hoof Hearted.
Yep, I agree.
Taste?
It's such a well-balanced beer. They're both good in their own right. To me, though, the Boss Tweed is actually smoother. I don't know if that sounds right. Than the Hoof Hearted. And it really does mask the amount of alcohol in there.
I agree. I think the Hoof Hearted is over sweeted. Like, it's got too much sweet, where the Boss Tweed is more fruity juice, tartness than sweet. Like, when I drink the Boss Tweed, then drink the Hoof Hearted, I'm like, oh my god, how sweet is this beer?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that these two even made it against each other. But the fact is, I mean, this is 1.3% more alcohol, and you can't tell.
Mm.
And I think it's kind of a compliment to M43 or to Old Nation, how they kind of, even though they ratcheted up the alcohol, they were able to balance the beer well with the amount of like juicy fruit and, you know, just tropical flavors and smells that they bring into it. Where the Hoof Hearted, it's a good beer, but it's still...
It's a good beer on its own.
Yeah. It seems, when I drink it next to the Boss Tweed, it seems out of balance.
Yeah.
But I know it wasn't when we had it earlier. So it's almost like, am I tasting unbalancedness because this is so well balanced? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I think the Hoof Hearted, it almost tastes like a older, juicy fruit bitterness beer. Where Boss Tweed is more of a fresh fruit, citrus, tangy beer.
Mm-hmm.
Boss Tweed.
We've agreed this whole time.
This isn't
ridiculous.
good. We're going to have to do this again in the summer just so we can go out and fight.
And I'll win.
Yeah,
Boss Tweed all the way for me.
I think you have to do this in order to see what we're talking about. Like if we had smell-o-vision and taste-o-vision, I think you could see it. But when you start comparing beers like this side by side, I think it brings out the worst in a beer.
Mm-hmm.
And this almost makes Hoof Hearted like a amateur beer, not on the right stage.
And it's not. And that's what's so crazy, right? And
Yeah.
it's like the whole, you know, when you see those TVs in the warehouse and you're like, 65-inch looks pretty small, but then you get it in your small living room and it's like, holy cow, it's like half the wall.
Yeah.
But then eventually you get used to it. It's kind of the same thing when you're comparing TVs side by side, you can tell a difference. When you get it home, it's hard to go from somebody's house and say, yeah, your TV's nice, but it's not quite as crisp as mine. Yeah. Boss Tweed all the way. I mean, it's good beer.
It's not
they
even
did a
close.
good job.
Yeah.
I don't even know what more to say.
Yeah. So, Boss Tweed, and we're not doing that, and I know, or I'm guessing some people are going to think just because Old Nation is a Michigan beer, that's why we're picking them. I could care less.
Yeah, as long as their beer's good.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Yeah. So, Old Nation, Boss Tweed wins this round. It will be going to the championship versus Rourke. Blow your face off.
Yep, 2 Michigan beers going at it.
Yep. So if you like this video, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when new videos are coming out. And until next time, I'm Brad.
I'm Steve.
Happy brewing.
See you next time.